Hoosac Tunnel. The Hoosac Tunnel is a tunnel built in Massachusetts that connects the north part of the state to the south and west. The tunnel was the longest of its kind in the world at the time, and took many lives and much tragedy to become a landmark. It cost an estimated 200 lives to build, and is considered to be one of the most haunted places in all of New England. To set the scene, northern Massachusetts was disconnected from the rest of the state and America due to a mountain range. Because of this, a man named Avila Crocker took it upon himself to construct the railroad. This would help connect the topmost part of the state with the rest and give easier access to materials and trade. If he could manage to do this, it would make him a lot of money. They chose the thinnest spot in the Hoosac Range and connected it all the way to New York. The workers would start on opposite sides and meet up in the middle eventually, and in 1851 they started this big dig. In 1852, a new boring machine was supposed to begin work on the eastern tunnel, but it got stuck in the bedrock and could not be recovered. This, along with other setbacks, eventually bankrupted Crocker, and while a few attempts would be made, work would not begin in earnest until 10 years later. This new effort was done in a slightly more modern way, with survey towers and reinforced brick to support and make sure it went smoothly. The creation of this tunnel also happened around the advent of nitroglycerin, a very fussy explosive that could blow up if you looked at it wrong. They set up a factory to produce it nearby to help keep a steady supply to the project. Because of how new it was, there was no regulation surrounding the use of it, and the foreman of the nitroglycerin factory erupted in 800 pounds of the stuff, and not a trace of his body was found. A separate explosive expert, Ringo Kelly, had also prematurely set off a blast that crushed his two companions. During this time, there were reports of the two men walking around the tunnel as ghostly apparitions. Kelly was found a year later, strangled in the same spot his friends were crushed. Soon, a ventilation hole was necessary for the now 5-mile-long tunnel, and this would be the worst of the catastrophes. 13 men were working in this hole when a lamp ignited, sending an above structure raining down onto the men. The men inside were either drowned, pummeled by debris, or suffocated by the fumes. It was later found that the men in the hole had created a raft to wait out a rescue that never came. And shortly after the discovery of the raft, the ghost had reportedly vanished. Eventually, the vent was finished and the tunnel had connected, but there are many accounts of workers seeing ghosts, and people to this day come to visit the haunted tunnel.